Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Sukhi Learn. I am Sukhjinder Singh. You can call me Sukhi. So today we are going to discuss the same concept that we discussed in the last video using data table and the if construct. So I'll be taking another use case as an example. And if you are watching me for the first time and if you are new to the channel, I would request you to please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you can get all the updates as soon as I upload my videos. So let's get started with this bot quickly. Okay, so let's take a look at the use case that we are going to develop bot for. These are the use case details. So we in this use case we have a logistic company, say company B, and the company receives the order list and the bank statement daily. So there's a data set which is having the list of orders, and there's another data set which is having the bank statement. So basically, bank statement is the data set where it has list of all the payments which have been successful and which are there in my bank account if I am company B. And order list is that data set which is having uh, the details of the order which has been ordered by the customers. Now, I am processing those orders only after checking if the payment is reflecting in my bank account. So I do a lookup of the data that is present in order list in the data set which is my bank statement on the basis of the payment reference number. And if I'm able to locate the payment reference number in my bank statement, then I will check the status of the payment. If the status of the payment is successful, only then I will process the order. Otherwise, I will not process the order. So that's what the use case is. The details are confirmed by checking the payment reference number in the order list exists in the bank statement, and if the final payment status is successful. So that is a use case, simple and straightforward. Now, generally what people do is they will open two Excel sheets. One is the order list and one is the payment bank statement. And they will do a VLOOKUP on the basis of the payment reference number. And we have observed that, or I have observed that, in RPA, when we are developing bots, there also people apply the same Excel automation in order to achieve the task. However, you don't really have to apply the same Excel automation by applying the VLOOKUP formula in the result cell and then processing it. You can actually use data tables to go ahead and validate such a thing and process the entire uh, validation check uh, in in data tables using data tables. So let's take a look at the steps of automation now. All right, now let's look at the automation steps that we will follow in order to achieve the task. So there will be an input folder in which both the files will be available. One called as the order list and the other one is the bank statement. So we have to pick up the order list and the bank statement file from the input folder, and then after picking it up, we'll then push the data into the data table. So we'll create two data tables in this situation, one for order list and one for bank statement. And then for every record in order list, we will check if the payment reference number exists in the bank statement file. And if yes, then check if the payment status for that record is successful and update the status as payment received in the order list file. And if the status is failed, then update the value of the payment status field in the order list as payment failed. Now, if the payment reference number is not available in the bank statement, then we will say payment not reflected. So that will be the status. So basically, there are three status that we will need to update. If we are not able to find the payment reference number, we will simply update payment not reflecting. If we find the payment reference number and the payment uh, status is not successful, then we will update it as payment failed, and if it is successful, we will update the status as payment received. So that's what we need to do. We'll save the data in the Excel file and then move the processed file to the output folder. So these are the basic steps that I need to perform in the bot in order to achieve the task. All right then, so let's look at the input files and then we'll start building the bot. Here are the two files that I was talking about. This is the bank statement, and this is the order order details. So here we have the order number, the item name, total amount, payment reference number, delivery address, and the payment status. So this is the column that we need to update. And this is the payment reference number column that we need to look at in the bank statement. This is the bank statement. So there are certain set of payment reference numbers available for which the status is available. Whatever we can find, we have to go and update this status in this particular cell depending on the payment reference number that it is going to look up. And wherever I'm not able to find any payment reference number, it will update the status accordingly. All right, so this is these are the two input files that I need to work on. And now let's get started by building a bot. So I'll go to Automation Anywhere. Last time we used an example of data table, and if we used a grid generator. Now we are going to say payment validation. So I'm starting from scratch today. So create an edit. So let's do it this way today. Yeah. All right. So again, good habit is to define the steps first. So I will say open the file and the data table. So here I will also need to have certain counter variables. So we'll do that. So let's open the files first. So let's open order details first. Say it contains headers. It's always a good habit to select this. Say order. And go to Excel Advanced package. And use this action. Get worksheet as data table. Say active sheet. Sheet contains header. Name is order. We'll create a table variable called order DB, order TB to be specific here. Let's say underscore. We'll close the file. Now we can repeat this entire thing. Just showing an example how you can copy this and reuse it. Here I will say browse. I will go to my input file. This is bank. Say bank. Bank table. Say bank. All right, so once I open the file, I will have to start the lookup. Now to start the lookup, I will need counter variables as well. So let's add another step. So let's name it as Initialize. This. Assign So say 0, the row starts from 0. Say for the CTR. Here we'll say bank CTR, so 2 counter variables. So these are the basic row indexes that we need to refer to in case we need to use it. All right, so let's add another step here. Validate the records. So we will validate using the loop command, because we have to loop through each and every record. So this one also will show you an example of nested loops. Nested loop is basically a loop within a loop. So I will say each row in data table order. Say we will name it as order. Let me see, record variable. So for each row in the order details, we have to loop through each row in the bank statement table or the bank table. So here table, bank table, bank IC. So what do we have to do? We have to check if string condition source value will be the payment reference number from the orders table. So that will be order record. And what is the column name? So let's be very specific here. So this is exactly the same column name available in the orders detail. So if this is equal to bank record, same column name, in which case, and say for testing we'll put a message there. So we will so what we will put in the message, so in the bank statement we will message the status. Now ABC1001 is the first record in the order details file, and here it is also the first record, so ideally I should get a message successful. Yeah, let's see what happens. Okay. So right now we are not using the counter variable, so ideally counter variable, the row counter will, that identifier will be handy when we are trying to update records. So we may not need the bank counter in this case, but let's see how the use case goes. All right, then now let's run this bot and see what happens. Okay, let me put this here. Yeah, this is looking better. Now I will run the bot. Yeah, so it is showing the right status here. Next one, widget found. So whichever it is finding, it is going and giving the message. So it's working fine. So now what we need to do here is, instead of showing this in the message box, I need to set the value with the orders table. All right, so now I will delete this message box, and I will have to save the value in the orders table. So I'll have to write into a data table, and this is the command or the action that I will use in the order table. Row CTR, which is currently 0, first row. I'm sorry, this is order CTR. This is the column name, and I'm picking up value from the bank record with the column name, payment status. Now, once I find the record, so once I find the payment reference number, I will update the status, and then I will have to also track that I have found the payment. So if I don't find the payment, I will continue to the next record. Now, after I find the payment, I need to stop looking into this particular table. So remember, the first table is the orders table, and the second table in which we are looking for data is the bank table. So once I find the record related to the payment reference number in the bank table, I need to come out of this loop and then move on to the next record in the orders table and then find it again in the bank table. Okay, so it goes loop into loop. So after this, I will simply break, and also I need to, you know, add something else that will help me once I finish looking for a particular. So let's take a look how it works. So the record number one, it goes inside this loop, record number one of orders table. Then it goes inside the loop which is for the bank table. So it will look for the payment reference number. If it finds it, it will set the value with the status in the orders table, and then I need to track it that I have found the details, because if I'm not able to find the details, what will happen? Say order record number one, it gets into this loop, and then here for each record it will keep looking for that particular payment reference number, and if it's not able to find that record, then we need to keep a track of it, because if we are not able to find the record or the payment reference number in the bank table, then we need to mark the status as payment details not found. So a very simple way of doing it is, say, I'm just doing a copy paste here, and I will assign it to a new variable called, say, payment found flag. Now if I will initialize the payment found flag to 0. Now if I find the payment reference number, what I'll do is I will reset the value to 1 and then break the loop, which means it will come out of this loop, and before going on to the next record of the orders table, I will check the payment found flag. If it is equal to 1, that means I found the payment reference number, so I don't need to do anything with the payment status. But if it is equal to 0, it will only mean that the bot is not able to find the payment reference number, and hence we'll have to update the status accordingly. So let's do that. Now here I will first also have else statement, else command. So I'm taking the same thing here. This time I'll say it's not equal to. It's not equal to, say, this. So what should I do? So if it goes to the first record, it does not matches, I need to go to the next record. So I will simply say continue. Yeah, so this one is just, yeah, this is how it looks like here. Yeah, okay. So I just need to continue the loop. Now, once this is over, once this loop activity is over, if it is found, it will put the payment status as it is available. If it is not found, then I will have to put another check. Okay, I will add the check here. So say if I get here number condition payment found flag, if it is equal to 0, it means the payment details are not found, and hence I will update the status accordingly. So I will just simply copy paste this value here and update the status as payment details not found. Say save. Now I'm done with this, and then I will also implement the order counter, because now I will move to the next row. So say dollar order CTR yes. Okay. So this is how I validate the records. Now after validating the records, I need to write the data to the Excel sheet. So I will add another step. Write data from order table to Excel. For that, there is an action available right from data table, order table, active worksheet. So one from the first cell, I say order. Now, what I'll do is I have to open the file first. So say open. To save the file, say close. So this is how you can reuse the code also, just copy paste it. Okay, now let's run this bot and see what happens. So let's go ahead and run the bot. So open the order file, then the bank statement. There you go. Let's take a look. Here we go. So it has updated all the status successfully. If I have to validate this piece of information, let me do it the traditional way. We look up, move to power 0, and you will see it has captured everything correctly. So hash NA means it has not been able to found the value in the given file. So that's about it. So this is how it is. Now the last part which was there in the use case is copy pasting the file into the output folder. Now let me just try and reuse the code. So let's say list view, and let me just try and show an example of how you can reuse, copy paste the code in the bots. So we are using this one. So this is the code that I would like to copy. Let's see, this was the first example that we took. I want to copy paste this. So this is the button that you will click on if you want to move this code to another bot. So say shared clipboard. So it says copy to shared clipboard, and I'll come to this bot and so I close everything here. Paste from shared clipboard. Okay, it goes inside this. I will take it out And here I just need to replace the file name here. So I need to move the order details file. Okay. So the end. So as X. So save. Alright, so we change the name here, and this is for copying the file from one folder to another, and we need to delete it from the input folder. So here also we'll have to change the name. So let me just copy paste this and replace this and save it. And now let's run the bot, and the bot should now update the status as well as move the file from input to the output folder. Okay. Yeah, so it's gone from input, going to output, and it has updated the status uh, correctly here as well. Okay, so that's about the session. All right, so that concludes our session today, which we were looking at the second example of using data table and if. Today, apart from using data table and if, we also saw an example of using nested loops. And the example which I took, the number of records are very less. It is my personal experience where the records are higher in thousands. And when you're using Excel formulas, in such a situation where you have to also apply an if to update the status, and you have to apply a VLOOKUP, um, Excel normally hangs when the data set is huge. However, in case of data tables, it might take a bit of a time to process the records, but it'll do it right. So I would strongly recommend that replace your Excel automation as much as you can uh, in data tables. That will help you to deliver effective and more efficient bots. So thank you very much for watching my video. Once again, I would like you to please express yourself, leave a comment, and show your support by hitting the like button. And once again, if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would request you to please subscribe to my channel by hitting the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that you can get the updates of all the videos that I keep uploading. And once again, thank you very much for watching. Go be great and keep learning. Thank you.